Hold on, here we go.
Recorded live.
Welcome to the OSI Technological Harassment Conference Line. We are OSI, Organized Stalking Informers, also known as OSINFORMERS. And we are here to educate and bring awareness and exposure to the crime syndicate known as Organized Gang Stalking and Electronic Technological Harassment. This conference call line was open for victims of electronic technological harassment to talk about and discuss this crime. Please keep the call on topic and subject while on the line. Views expressed by individual callers does not necessarily represent or reflect the views of OSI or its members. Warning, no reading of relayed scripts or instructions of any kind, or you will be muted from the call and chat room. With that said, welcome to the OSI Technological Harassment Conference Line. Hey, for all the new listeners on the line, we're talking to targeted individuals. We're trying to get similarities of their targeting. We're trying to get what type of targeting they're under, physical or electrical, what type of harassments they're getting, and we're finding out there are a lot of similarities in these harassments. Oh, JT, go ahead. I was just wondering if somebody else would like to speak up.
Oh, okay.
I need a laugh.
You need a laugh?
Are you on?
Need a laugh?
No, the person I'm talking to knows what I'm talking about.
It's a whole other area of humor, isn't it? Where's the old chip? Yeah, I don't know. It's not my field, fellas, so I can't.
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Yeah, well, you should. Yeah, I'm not going there, man. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, you can be my straight man, Kate, if you want. I'll just fill in the gaps for you. But if you ever get to New York, like I was saying before, in the city, if you're on Facebook, you Facebook me, and unless I'm in a situation where I can't get out, so to speak, grab some coffee, you, me, and Mike will hang out, start building a crew, which is what I've been trying to do.
You're building what?
Building a crew, getting people together, but not.
Yeah,
but not
I know.
on
I
Facebook.
tried doing that in Connecticut.
Real life.
Oh my God, I got bloody nailed after that.
Well,
in Connecticut, so trying to reach out to people is like pulling teeth. Everybody's afraid.
You know what? Well, we're here, and you know what? Mike's asking if you have a Facebook page.
No, I don't.
No, she doesn't. Well, I do, and you're welcome to. I mean, I have no problem even throwing out my email to you right now online. See, I don't care. I don't. If you got a pen, Kate, is it? I'll give you my email right now, and the world can listen if they want to. I'm not going to let fear, keep.
Yeah.
We're conquered because we're divided. It's that simple.
Well, it's the human part of us that fears. It's hard. It's hard to surrender all and trust.
You got a pen?
The Lord.
Yeah,
I do. I do.
You ready? Okay, I'm going to give you my email, and anybody out there can take it if they want to get together. I mean, if half of everybody is fake, if 8 out of 10 people are fake, fine. I have 2 more friends that are real. So this is my email.
There you go. Amen.
We're going to take a break real quick for a minute. We're about to go off the 5-hour limit. Dr. Robert Duncan, would you like to say hello to everyone?
Yes. I'm sorry. I just joined, and Dwight and I have been friends for quite a while, and I think Kate the Birder's on, and Cynthia's on the call as well. And so I want to say hello to everybody and wish them the best of luck. And I wish I hadn't missed this call, because I gain a lot of insight and collect data by different people's telling me their different traumas, what they're undergoing, finding the commonalities, and that helps me with my research. So I apologize that I came on so late. But hello to everyone, and stay strong.
Hey, Robert.
Is there any way?
Excuse me, Robert. We'd like to invite you on one night just to listen.
Yes, I would love to listen. I wasn't
I'll let
informed
you know
about this call ahead of time, so I just heard about it.
Are we going to get back on?
Yeah, I'll let you know about it. Well, Robert usually goes to bed early.
My bedtime's midnight. Mountain Time.
Yeah, how about we set something up, and I'll let you know when we're having a good call, and you come on and maybe give us some input.
Yeah, I can give some advice, but I'll learn a lot too by listening
you will
about what people are going through. That the data is very important to me.
Well, this is what's helping me write my book, Robert. I didn't want to give all my secrets out, but I'm going to tell you, this is what's helping me write my book.
All right, they'll be very interesting and important. So yeah, let's have that conversation. So let's make another call.
Okay, I'll do that, Robert. I'll let you know ahead of time, and when we have enough people on the line with enough interesting stories, such as we did tonight, I should have let you know earlier, but we'll have that talk. And we appreciate
sooner than later, I hope.
We appreciate you coming on tonight.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everybody that
God bless.
Reads his books, be sure to get Project Soul Catcher, and he's got a new book coming out soon.
Yeah, called How to Tame a Demon. It's a beginner's guide for TIs, those that are newly indoctrinated, what they should expect, the mistakes they should avoid. But it's sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't chess game, and I just want people to know the consequences of every decision they make and how far ahead these people have thought to discredit the target and to destroy their lives. So it might give them a little bit of an advantage, and it's a very short book, very terse answers. It's written in a form of frequently asked questions, because I get a lot of questions. I don't have time to answer everybody individually, so I decided to put this in a very short, cheap book. You know, it should be like $11 on Amazon, and it should help a lot of good people. I'd say I'm about 5 days away from the finishing writing, probably another week for editing, and then should be published a week after that. But I'll put an announcement up.
Yeah, make sure you get a copy of Project Soul Catcher. Very interesting book. It's actually book 2. Book 1 was a little too technical for Robert to put out, but
yeah, I'm going to put that out eventually, but it is mostly transhumanism, the positives of the changes that are going to go on in our society, and we can steal this technology, and I shouldn't say steal, but take it away from the evil side. Every technology is neutral, and show all the positive uses that this has in medical and other applications. And then it gets very much into the science, the mathematics, and physics, which will bore most people, and that's part of the reason that it hasn't been released yet. And then The Matrix Deciphered, that was never supposed to be published. It was never finished, never edited. And I finally decided, okay, I'm going to edit it properly, grammar check it, spell check it, get the facts all straight, and then I'm going to publish that as well. So I have a few books coming out.
Very good.
We're excited.
Yeah, we're very excited about.
Thank you for your support. God
getting
bless
more of
you.
this out. Yeah, Cynthia Hamill, who is a good journalist, she writes on Blogspot. Cynthia, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hello,
Can you tell us
Cynthia.
about your Blogspot?
Hi, everybody.
Can you tell us about your Blogspot?
Oh, yeah. Well, I basically started this because on my Facebook account, I thought that I was keeping this ongoing huge journal where I could just segment that information and then have this huge, 4 or 5 book series coming out. And then lo and behold, Facebook started erasing all my writing. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to kind of cover my assets here, So I wound up redoing my blogspot thing under the Research Rabbit Hole, WHOLE, under blogspot.com, and that thing started taking off. I just wrote it for a lecture that I was doing for about an hour and 15 minutes, and it was with the Paranoia Con, and I was speaking on electronic harassment, and I thought, wow, I'm going to have to write this, like an overlay or something up in front of the class to explain what I'm talking about. So why not just turn it into a blog? So that's how I started the whole blog. And then within like 2 weeks or like 2 to 3 weeks, I had like over 10,000 views on it. So that thing started taking off, and now it's got 14,000 views on it, and I've not even really promoted it. I like stopped promoting it the first 2 weeks that I was doing it. So a lot of people are finding it, and, of course, it's got all these links and stuff that I found in my own research on stuff that's documented on the internet about electronic harassment, and Dr. Robert Duncan's work, and Dr. John Hall's work, and then Dr. Barry Trower's work. So it gives all the links that I found that explains the technology to the best of what I found. And so it's been fascinating, and it's been a good thing, a good way to get the word out on what's going on, where people have all the links together and can just listen to YouTube stuff. Yeah.
Could you repeat the address, please?
Sure. It's under the Research Rabbit Hole, WHOLE.
Okay.
At blogspot.com. And it may actually be .blogspot.com, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hey,
you know.
Cynthia, I'm still
Google
working
that.
on a location. You're gonna show up, right, for our OSINFORMERS meet and greet?
Now, is this the one in San Diego?
No, it's gonna occur in the Inland Empire area.
Sure. I'd be interested in going if I can. I'm still doing a lot of work right now with the 9/11 Truth Group, but if I've got, a free week, I'd love to come. That sounds really, really cool.
Sounds great.
What was the date again, Johnny?
It's going to be on Saturday, December 7th.
Okay, and what was that location again?
Well, it's going to be, the one that I'm negotiating with and waiting to hear back on is going to be in San Bernardino.
Is that California?
Okay. Yeah, San Bernardino, California. Do you know where Rancho Cucamonga is?
I've heard of that. I think it's not too far from me. Is it between San Diego and Vegas?
Yes. It's closer to San Diego than it is to Vegas.
Oh, yeah. I think I've been through that area. Yeah.
Yeah, San Bernardino is about 315 miles from Vegas, and from San Bernardino to San Diego is about 115 miles. So, yeah, we're a little bit closer to you. It's about 115 miles away from you.
Yeah,
Is that near Del Mar?
Pardon?
Is that near Del Mar?
No, Del Mar is on the coast. We're inland.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry.
Okay, is Kate also on the line? Kate, would you like to say hi?
How you doing?
Good, you?
Just fine.
Kate from Massachusetts?
Yep. Hi, Mary.
Hi, hon.
Oh.
Oh, my God. Hi.
Hey, it's a love fest, huh?
It is.
That's what we need. We need this.
It is. Robert.
I didn't realize you were involved with this group. I just got on last night for the first time.
Uh-huh. Well, I was listening to Dwight, so,
Yeah, they caught me.
Yep.
No, we were having a little group chat, and I was disappearing on them, so they got to wondering where I was. They caught me.
Yeah, we actually play a little joke. This is Robert Duncan, and every time we do a talk show, whatever, some of us try to come on to make the other person laugh. That's why I came on.
Laughter is the best
You didn't do it,
medicine.
Robert. I asked you to, and you didn't do it.
Oh, I know. I did. Well, I got on, and I thought you were talking to a different Robert. I didn't know who was all on.
That's funny.
But no, we're glad to have you on tonight.
I am chipped.
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you on tonight. We're about to hit our 5-hour limit time, and the call will end, but after 3 minutes we'll have another call. But I'm sure most people are probably going to go to bed by then. But Robert, we'd like to have you and Cynthia and Kate back on one other night.
Amen.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah,
that would be fun.
Be good.
We're a good group of people. We don't trash anybody. We don't play games. We're straightforward. We try to be straightforward. We do have some harassers, but we get rid of them. OSI does a good job at getting rid of the harassers. Be sure to join the OSINFORMERS.lafora.com forum for all your information. If you'd like to read more information on targeted individuals, presently they're undergoing a rebuild for a .lafora site, but as soon as it gets built back up again, I'm pretty sure you can gain a lot of knowledge there. A lot of people have put information into this spot and on targeted individuals through physical stalking all the way to electronic stalking. We try to cover all areas. And Robert, you're welcome any night. You and Cynthia and Kate, I'll have to send you out an invite. You can listen in.
Please send me an invite directly.
You'll find a lot of information, and you can do that.
That'd be great. Yeah, every so often I'll get a new insight from some TI that tells me one of their tactics, one of the tricks that they're pulling, and I want to expose all of them, because they tend to use some subset of this very large set of tactics in either group stalking or electronic harassment. But I want to expose every single one of them, so when a new TI, and those are the ones I'm really trying to help, those being just brought in the program, have no idea what to expect, what's going on. I want to tell them, this is what they're going to try to do. This is why they're trying to do it. Don't fall for it. It's all trickery. And, just get them ahead of the game before the damage is done.
Doctor.
So, yeah, it's important to me.
Yeah, a lot of my targeting is vehicular stalking. I do get some ped stalking. I do have some countermeasures with some of the techniques that they use. So I would love to hear that too, because I'm publishing and these are anecdotal stories. We haven't done mass studies yet because we can't get the government grants to do this on a large scale, but at least the anecdotal stories of what works and what doesn't is very helpful for new TIs. So I'd love to hear those stories too. Yeah.
I feel privileged you're on the call. I've heard so many good things about you.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he is. And Kate is also. Cynthia is also. Cynthia's a fine journalist.
I know. Man, there's so many good people on this call. It is a love fest.
Yes. If you get a chance, maybe we'll publish at the same time, Robert. Compare publishings.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. That'd be great. I remember your book's focused on gang stalking, isn't that right? Mostly.
No, I'm an electronic stalk.
Electronic stalking.
I cover electronic stalking. I've actually put a few of my pages on the OSI Informers site. No, I started out getting the torture immediately because I caught them immediately.
Yeah,
I caught on to it immediately. Yeah. There are people they can.
Where do you live, Dwight? Are you in Texas? You sound like you have a Southern accent.
I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, okay. Well, Southern accent. Okay.
You have a totally different accent.
But for some of the defensive work, shielding and jamming technologies that I want to work on, my biggest problem is I don't have TIs that are being attacked electronically. Most of them are purely V2K, which is one form of electronic attack. But I want the people that are being tortured in pain, their bodies are being tortured. So you would be a good subject to bring into my lab when I build some of these devices to test on or ship them to you or something.
Dwight, what about Mike Mason? What about Mike Mason I didn't mean to interrupt on that and speak for Mike, who's trying to get some rest here, but sorry, my name is JT, sir. It's an honor to just be on the same line with you. But I have a friend, Mike Mason, who has saved my life, I'm sure, by just being my friend out here in New York. I'm a TI. And he suffers, I feel bad he's sitting right here, with just physical pain, intense exhaustion. It's just debilitating exhaustion. He has to take all these caffeine pills to keep going, which are eating up his kidneys. You know, and I worry about him big time. And he says mental pain and physical pain. And so I don't know if that would, if he has the things specifically that you're looking for that would help you with your test.
It might. I'd have to listen to all the different electronic attacks he gets to see if he falls into the category.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. I got knocked off the telephone. Somebody didn't want me talking.
Okay. Well, we hear you. That would be interesting to me. What part of New York does he live in?
He's in Queens, but the great thing about Mike is he's an awfully bright guy, and he's very articulate and very, very thoughtful. And so you're going to get a real quality feedback to the questions and the experiences.
Yeah.
So I thought that might be handy for you too. But he's in Queens. We're both in the boroughs out here. And I volunteered for yes, sir.
Dwight, have you given your specs yet to other people for your sleeping quarters that you find relief in to see if it works with other people? Or
yes, I put some pages out on the OSINFORMERS site, and I'm sending them out to individuals. The thing is, some of the individuals don't even have the money. They're so
that's
attacked. They don't even have the money to afford some of the protection.
And that's the problem. Once somebody knows, by the time they know they're in this program and they're attacked, their finances have been depleted. And so, they're
there's something I'd like to add about this.
Caroline.
That's me. Hello, everybody. Hi, Robert. So pleased to have you. So honored. My name is Caroline Henry, and I'm a TI in Texas. My two kids are TIs as well. One of them is 19 years old, and I wanted to add to what you were asking, Dwight. It's very difficult to not only convey to your kids what's being done to them. We're being electronically harassed. It's out of this world here. Not only the V2K, everything else, it's very difficult. So.
Okay, I didn't fully quite understand that. If you're the TI or your children are the TI, and of course the goal of every TI is to try to get sympathy and understanding from those around them, especially their families, or from, the police or FBI or cops, and that's unfortunately a very, very rare circumstance. So all you can do is give them information and say this matches up with my symptoms. But if you harp too much, too long, all of the time to, let's say, your children, I don't know if you're the target or if they are, you're gonna end up turning them off to it. So you got to do it in doses, and you got to give them the right books. Ask them to be sympathetic. Ask them to read. But remember, they have no power. There's nothing they can do to help you. This is much, much bigger than you think. This is worldwide.
Robert, have you heard Dr. John Hall's latest interview on the Alex Jones show?
I did. I watched part of it. Yeah, I got part of it.
He did talk a lot about blocking and protecting yourself.
I didn't catch that part. I'll have to rewatch it. I haven't heard of his blocking techniques. I'd be curious, and I'm surprised he didn't consult me since I've been studying this for over a decade on defenses. What I saw him talk about on the Alex Jones show was I think it's the ICAAT, Jesse Beltran's group, in a microwave Faraday cage, showing how a radio frequency detector on a target triggers frequencies, and then on the control group, those not targeted have no radio frequencies being emitted from them. That's pretty much all I saw him say on the Alex Jones show. So I may have missed part of it. I'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah, he did talk a lot. I made sure I caught this, and I'm going to record it myself.
Do you have time to tell me briefly what he was saying?
Yeah, he said all targeted individuals should learn blocking techniques and learn to block with metals, mu metals.
Okay, mu metals, correct. And the reason for mu metal, obviously superconductor, which I actually create in my garage, but it costs for a coffin-sized liquid nitrogen container $10 million, so most people can't afford that. But mu metal dampens the magnetic field, and they're using a couple really advanced surveillance techniques called electron paramagnetic spin resonance, and they're also doing nuclear magnetic resonance on certain ions in the body, and the body itself is an antenna. So these are better classified as resonance weapons than they are directed energy weapons or microwave weapons. All those frequencies matter, ELF weapons. But the truth is they're resonance weapons. And so if you can deplete the magnetic field, which mu metal dampens it, yes, that should alleviate some of the programming, some of the pain that they can give into your nervous system. So that's a good advice.
Can you give us some examples of mu metal?
Mu metal is a nickel alloy. You can buy it in sheets off the internet. It's about, when I bought it, it's about $75 for 3 feet of it. So it's not inexpensive, and especially if you want to create a little sleeping cage, that's probably about $200, $300 you're going to spend to cover your cage with mu metal. And the other thing is, a lot of people say, well, use aluminum or copper. Well, it's good. It's better than iron because it's not a diamagnetic substance. So the magnetic fields of the earth or anything else will end up going through iron. But those other substances can only reflect a little bit of radar energy. And if it's ELF, it goes right through it. It's kind of useless on the most part. And what you should be looking for is what they use on the stealth bomber, ceramic and rubber, and then the third ingredient, Teflon. And there's one more that's top secret. But those substances actually absorb radar energy, and you can put microwave absorbing cones and stuff, but most of this is way below microwave frequency. They can use microwave weapons, and it's full spectrum basically that have biomagnetic effects on the body, but it's really the lower frequencies that you should be concerned about. Everything below 1 megahertz. 1 megahertz and below is what you really want to block. And in my Volume 1, Project Soul Catcher, I go through the mathematics, the theory of why that is. So that guy that went on that killing spree, Alex, yeah, and he said my ELF weapon. Well, he wasn't lying, but it's more complicated than that. He also said he was hearing a microwave hearing effect, and they really are different effects. So the full spectrum is used. But for the pain that's being created in the body, it's usually something below 1.4 megahertz. So I'm curious what Dr. Hall was saying in terms of shielding, what he recommended.
Well, he didn't really recommend anything on what I heard. I haven't heard the whole interview yet either. I plan on recording it on my using my Camtasia Studio, the whole interview, but the part I heard, he really didn't get into it yet. So you recommend a safe place as being like in a completely tiled bathroom, since the ceramic?
Yeah, that will dampen the effects. And from the TIs that I've studied, a completely tiled bathroom, when they're being targeted so heavily, they think they're going to fall and collapse on their knees. They would go into a tiled bathroom, and they're able to have far less pain, cut it into a third. And that's also a property that absorbs certain frequencies, radar frequencies. So, yeah, tiling, believe it or not, is one of them. Teflon has a different property, and it causes a static charge. And part of the weapon system they're using, like I said, was electro-spin resonance. And if you can change the field slowly and constantly, and you'll have to figure out a device that does that, discharges it, and then adds free electrons on it, like from a negative ion generator. That screws up the receivers. They have to have it constant in order to resonate the body, the nuclear structures of the atoms of interest in the nervous system. So that's another technique. And it all requires magnetism, which is, we're flooded with that. That's the Earth's magnetic field. But there are ways that you can create an artificially intense magnetic field too. It's very complex science. The greatest weapon system ever built.
So would rare earth magnets help you?
So
in your opinion?
They would, in the sense of initially, and especially if you put the poles against each other. So, a North Pole against the North Pole, or a South Pole against the South Pole. That actually helps temporarily, but the system adapts. And so you would have to create coils that are constantly changing the magnetic field around your environment and your body in a semi-chaotic manner, and their systems can't adapt to it. So it's if you have some electronic engineering background, this is quite possible.
Okay, Robert, we're about to go out of our 5-hour time limit. If we get cut off, that'll be the end of this show. Another one would start up. If everybody would keep quiet in the backgrounds. Is there...
Is eating cheap red meat, and I'm thinking to myself,
okay,
what is
Robert?
That?
I don't know. We've got people in the background.
Yeah,
Robert,
I can hear them too.
Yeah, it's probably my
silicone
here right
somebody
next to
told me silicone rubber would help. Is that true?
Silicone rubber. I don't.
What is it?
I don't know. I've never done the experiment. And that's a problem. We have theory. We have a few TI examples that I've done in my labs, but in order to do a true scientific study, avoiding the placebo effect, you need a control group, and you need a way that TIs do not know whether it's a fake environment to protect them or a real environment to protect them. And you have to do those studies to be scientific. We just simply, it's too hard for when I had my lab up and running to get people from all over the country to fly in and do the experiment, because most people can't afford to fly in and do that. But that's what we eventually need to do to prove scientifically and without a doubt to Congress, to a court, that there is something going on. What they have done in the past is they've said, these people are just electrically sensitive. Well, that's still an amazing thing, even if that's true, that humans can pick up electricity and radio waves that easily. But that's just their cover story. You got to realize.
Yeah, again, we're about to lose our time frame. Our 5-hour limitation will come up if we get cut off the line, which may happen at any minute now. We would have another call after about 3 minutes. But, Robert, we really appreciate you being on the call tonight, coming on the call and giving us this information. He's told all TIs that if you get attacked very bad, the bathroom, a fully tiled bathroom, is going to help you.
Yeah.
Kate, that's why they don't want me in the bathroom.
That's right, Mary.
There you go. God is good, huh, honey?
Okay, Robert, we'd like to start a funding to do these experiments and to be able to afford people to come to you and find out, get exact information that we can carry to court.
Yeah, and do it scientifically. I tore my lab down a couple years ago. I had to move, and I just got into writing more than the science of it. I got all the science and knowledge I wanted, but I'd be willing to start up another lab, and I was thinking of maybe using one of those funding sites like Kickstarter to get some funding for the oscilloscopes and the spectrum analyzers and other pieces of equipment that I would need to do it.
Hey, Dwight.
Well, I'm willing to start up that funding. I will do what I can.
Yeah, I sent y'all
do that.
both a link last night.
Hey, Dwight.
If we can get everybody's backing, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
really
Johnny.
quick, Dr. Duncan. I myself would like to thank you. You're a blessing to everybody. If you would kindly add me, I put a request for a friend request on Facebook. If you could do that, that would be great. I do moderate.
I'm very I get so many harassers and stuff. So tell me your name, so I'll accept you. But I rarely accept any friend requests. Okay. So yeah, just send me a friend request. I'll remember that.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Johnny's a good guy.
Yeah.
And Johnny, can I piggyback that, Johnny? Can one of you guys give me the voucher? Dr. Duncan, I didn't mean to interrupt, fellas. I was wondering if you could approve of my friend request, too. If those gentlemen will give me an okay, I'm a good guy.
Okay.
Who is this speaking?
Right.
That was
speaking.
I know we're mobbing you, sir, so to speak.
Okay, and here's my sort of standard is when someone asks me for a friend request, I look them up, make sure they have a history longer than 2 years. They talk about this topic somewhere on their Facebook page. Do you fit that category?
Dr. Duncan, you look at mine, you'll see it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You'll be accepted.
And I'm about to put my bio up on it, but it starts in 2005.
Yeah,
I prefer a picture if you would, but not everyone wants
the picture there. I have a picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you from New York?
JT is.
Okay,
yeah, he's
JT,
got a good friend. Tell Mike I said hey.
I will.
see your photo
and
on
Sophie.
Facebook right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sad to say.
He's a good friend of mine, of Mike Mason, and Sophie, his dog. They've been a friend of mine for a few years. So I know these guys. Everybody's been good. Got anything to leave us with, Robert?
Oh, me? Yeah, well, I mean, just words. And it's words of encouragement. I mean, think about what we are doing. This is more important than the revolution we had from the oppressive forces of England. This is more important than the Civil War. We are fighting for the very right to our souls and minds. This is the greatest war, and you should feel privileged that you're in the know and that you are part of this fight to free people's souls. I mean, this is against the devil itself. So I respect all of you for being part of this.
Yes, and as I understand it, they're attacking everybody. It's just those people that have noticed and can't be controlled that are attacked the worst.
Yes, exactly.
They're trying to control the whole population.
Yeah, spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
All right. PSYOPs.
PSYOPs. Yeah. Well, I got to get to bed here, and so I'm going to say good night and good luck.
God bless.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, Robert. Thank you.
Good night, Robert.
Good night, Cynthia.
Good night.
Good night, Hollywood.
Good night.
Good night,
Dwight.
Hey, Dwight.
Yeah, we're still on.
Dwight, this is Jeremiah. I just called in and caught just only the last part of what he was saying.
Hi, Jeremiah.
Okay, well, then you can listen to the recording as soon as this call ends. I'm pretty sure OSI will get it back on the recording line as quickly as possible.
All right.
I've been trying to get Robert to come on, and they missed me out of the chat group, and somebody caught me and told on me. But I was surprised that he would come on. He did come on. We'd like to have him on again. We'd like to have him on an undisturbed call, but you got to remember to listen to what he's saying and try not to interrupt. On an undisturbed. Further questioning from any individuals before the call ends?
No, other than Dwight, we need to get Dr. Duncan back on, and Cynthia Hamill, and even anybody that is of noteworthy mention back on this call in.
Well,
soon.
we could probably get Peter Rosenholm to come on. Peter's pretty knowledgeable about targeting.
Yeah. And Kate.
We need Kate. Kate is pretty knowledgeable. Maybe one night we could get Cynthia is got a good page again. You need to go visit her page. She has a lot of conspiracy theories on that page. We're hoping one day Dr. Robert Duncan will create a web page where we can go and just hear what he has to say. If any of you haven't read any of his books, there's Project Soul Catcher, and as he said, in a few weeks he'll have another book coming out with some practical antidotes for targeted individuals, some practical things you can do. And again, remember he said ceramic absorbs some of these waves. So if you're heavily targeted, go in the bathroom and grab hold of the water pipes. The water pipes will provide a grounding if they're metal into the ground, or turn the water on a little bit to give it a trickle, and you may get a grounding effect through the water.
Yes. Yes.
Get in the shower. Take a shower. If you've been being attacked real hard, jump in the shower. Just the water running off your body down the drain will give you a grounding, and plus it'll give you blocking. A lot of liquids help block out some of the frequencies.
Yeah, microwave doesn't like a lot of weather change.
Correct. I always.
It hates when it rains loud.
Yep.
Remember, go to your bathroom. If you have a fully tiled bathroom, floor and walls, go in the bathroom, and if it's only half walls, sit down on the floor, hold the water pipes at your sink, sit near your sink, or find you a ground, or get a grounding device. I'm going to start making these devices and sell them at cost. I'm hoping that they can be with shipping now. I checked on the shipping is going to be about $5, so I'm trying to keep the cost under $20. And with this device, you can stay grounded all the time, and you can reduce the energies being sent toward you. You can be more relaxed and calm. You can stop some of the mental telepathy that's making you get up, for you physical people that are making you get up and look out the window, or hearing all these weird noises in your home. What you have to do is you have to stop listening to all this stuff. At night, sleep with some headphones on, playing binaural beats for sleep. They have different frequency binaural beats. Look it up on the internet. You can download these binaural beats for free. You can sleep with them, and they also cause interference from any subliminals being sent to you through these tinnitus of the ears. I still wholly believe in reflectics. You can buy rolls of it, 4-foot rolls of it, 50 yards long at Lowe's. I made me a new device last night just for my head. I still use my body cover, but I noticed sometimes my head, I would kick around and knock it out from under me. So I made a 3/8-inch PVC frame and reflectixed it, and with a flap in the front, and I just slide under it. And I used it last night or this morning when I went to sleep, and I slept 9 hours undisturbed. And it was a goal for me that I haven't seen in 6 years. I'm sleep deprived. They wake me up every 2 hours. Sometimes they wake me up, startle me, and make me jump out of the bed. And I go, why did I jump out of the bed? They used to send me noise.
You have coils, right?
Yeah,
you got a coil bed?
That's possible. Well, I use reflectix on top of the coil bed. It's the only way I could get back in the bed.
Your bed grounded?
My bed has a sheet of reflectix. No, it has a sheet of reflectix under the bed sheet. Under the bottom sheet, I have a whole sheet of reflectix, and it blocks out all the heat. I don't get hot anymore. I don't feel like I'm being cooked on the bed.
Wow.
It was until I discovered this stuff at Lowe's that I was able to return to sleep on a bed. Previous to that, I could only sleep on a cushioned couch.
Hey,
no
Dwight.
Springs, no metal. Yeah.
You just gave me an idea. My mom used to be a quilter and made some of the blankets that we used to use. Couldn't the reflectix actually be put inside the blanket?
That's true too. Yes, it could, and
idea.
it would probably reduce some of the heat because otherwise the reflectix against your body would reflect your body.
And not only
heat.
that, it wouldn't be aesthetically, sour per se.
Correct. It wouldn't make you look like you're crazy.
Exactly.
The reflectix stuff, are they pretty similar to Mylar and emergency blanket?
The reflectix is a double Mylar bubble wrap type material. It's insulation for the home. If you go to a home site, look for a silver bubble wrap looking material. It is double Mylar with bubble wrapping, and even laying on it, you don't pop the bubbles. It's pretty strong, pretty sturdy stuff. It outlasts the Mylar emergency blankets by years. I'm still using the 50-foot roll I bought 4 years ago when I started sleeping on a bed again. I just used up, let's see, I probably got 6 foot left. I used about 4 foot, maybe 5 foot on the new design I made for my head last night. I used a PVC frame for it, and I used the 3M Mylar tape, which is UL18111B-FX. You can buy that also at Lowe's. It's a Mylar tape. Or you can use the aluminum tape, the tape that I advertised earlier, 3M metal repair tape, foil tape 3381. You get, it's almost 2 inches by 50 yards, and it's about $7 or $8 a roll, which is pretty cheap. And one roll usually lasts me a little over a month. And I use this on my hands. I use it on my thighs, on a pair of long johns. I firmly believe in what Dr. John Hall said about blocking on his last interview with Alex Jones. You have to block. You have to use your bathroom tiles. Remember what Robert said. That ceramic tile will absorb some of the frequencies, especially in the low ranges, such as the 1 megahertz to 2 megahertz ranges. Again, he mentioned mu metals. If you can find a metal distributor, ask them what type of mu metals they have. That's a nickel alloy. You can go on Google and look it up, and I'll tell you exactly what a mu metal is. Hold on a minute. Mu metal suppliers. There's mu metal suppliers online. They have like a 2 times Ultra Perm 80 metal shield made out of mu metal on eBay for $46.95. I'm going to Wikipedia now, and I'll explain what a mu metal. Mu metal is a range of nickel iron alloys that are notable for their high magnetic permeability, composed of approximately 77% nickel, 16% iron, 5% copper, and 2% chromium or molybdenum.
Yep.
The high permeability makes mu metals useful for shielding against static or low-frequency magnetic fields.
Well, I personally recorded a frequency of around 100 megahertz for one of the frequencies. I know there's another frequency.
You recorded what?
There are high, very strong signal around 100 megahertz.
Right. You might record a high frequency, but sometimes they piggyback these low frequencies, the ones that they're messing with your mind with, are 1 to 2 megahertz.
If we can identify the carrier frequencies in terms of strength,
yes.
that is the key
Bingo.
thing. We identify them because the modulation of the lower frequency within it could be using frequency hopping as well within that frequency. So it's very difficult to detect. So if they have peak of a different frequency or a different, they have larger bandwidth basically. So you have hard to lock on to a particular frequency. But the lower frequency, the pulses would be on a piggyback. It's just like every other AM transmission, really.
Yes, Jackie, man, you are right. And
so what we identify
remember,
is where a stray radio frequency that is in such a strength that it's not supposed to be in your house. Like I measure as high as a minus 27 decibels at around 100 megahertz. And that is like nothing else should emit this frequency. It have to be external to my house and myself.
Yes, and also remember they can use your house 60 hertz frequency. They can use very high frequencies, which very high frequencies can be condensed, aimable, and even ricocheted off your walls. And they can piggyback these lower frequencies that affect the human being. The lower frequencies being anywhere from 1 hertz in the ELF range to 300 hertz. Then you get up into the, actually you can go all the way up to 2 megahertz, affects human beings if aimed correctly. But remember what Dr. Robert Duncan said about EPR, electron permamagnet resonance, EPR. I posted this link earlier in the chat. Again, I finally got on the NASA Tech Brief link. It finally came up. They were blocking me from it at first. I placed this on the chat, so if you back up on the chat, you can get that link. And that was a very important link, the NASA Tech link. If you didn't get that, I'll post it again real quick. Let me bring that up. And that is about squids, which is superconductor quantum interference devices. All right, I'm going to post that link again to the NASA Tech Brief site on EPR and squids. There it goes onto the site. If you want to read about that, that'll tell you. And again, read up on mu metals. That's M-U-M-E-T-A-L-S. And they got mu from the Greek letter mu, which represents permeability in physics and engineering formula. There are a number of different property formulations of the alloy are sold under trade names such as mu metal, mu metal, and mu metal 2. So if you can afford to buy good shielding, mu metal is a good shielding because it, like Dr. Robert Duncan said, it affects the electron spin.
Hey, Dwight.
Yes.
Segue really quick. I just got done watching a news segment on the D.C. Killing of the African-American woman with the child in the car. And
yes.
they're already trying to build a delusional case against her. But they had her entire family. There were about 9 or 10 people standing behind her saying that she's not delusional.
Oh,
Attention. 5-hour call termination notice.